take the cover off. I hesitated. After all, I was a stranger here. But she was pretty determined, so I tried it, and I did it quite easily. Carol was delighted. Frankly, I was kind of pleased with myself, too. And then, lo and behold, the cooked meat. And such meat. Looking just scrumptious and smelling, well, just heavenly. But we still couldn't be sure, because after all, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. And so to dinner. A big, fine-looking meal that took less than an hour to cook, from beginning to end. Carol was a little worried. And frankly, so was I. So much depended on what Mr. Bartlett said. We all waited for him to make the first taste test. But as it turned out, we had nothing to worry about. Mr. Bartlett was sold. As for me, well, I was sold even before I tasted a thing. But when I tried the meat, there was never a doubt left. At least with a Presto cooker, my Carol had proved herself a fine cook. Stanley was his usual ravenous self, only more so that day. Carol had more than proved her point about pressure cooking, not only in the time and the work saved, but also on food taste and texture. This was really her day of triumph, and we were all proud of her. Her father just beamed and helped himself to more. As for me, well, I was almost weepy with pride and with something else that mothers feel on occasions like this. I found myself glancing over at her and saying to myself, "That's my girl." Well, that's all there is. There isn't any more. Or is there?
Yes, Mrs. Bartlett, there is. Most of the things that should be known about pressure cookers are summed up in several practical questions.
Will it be easy for me to handle?
With a little practice, just as easy as you saw Carol handle it. That's because the best and most modern pressure cookers are light in weight, simple in design, safe and easy to use.
Will it save me time and cut down on my kitchen work?
That is one of its chief values. Pressure cooking cuts from 1/2 to 3/4 of ordinary cooking time, turning hours into minutes. Let's check into a few more examples of time and work saving taken at random from the pressure cooker recipe book. Boston baked beans, for instance, one of the foods requiring the longest cooking time. 8 hours by ordinary cooking, 40 minutes by pressure cooking. Soups, beef vegetable, for example, up to 3 hours by ordinary cooking, 20 minutes by pressure cooking. Other soups like French onion soup and split pea, the same time or less. Any and all meat dishes as much as 4 hours by ordinary cooking, from 5 minutes to seldom more than an hour by pressure cooker. For such dishes as beef stew, spare ribs, spaghetti and meatballs, New England boiled dinner. Anyone else around here getting hungry? As for vegetables, up to an hour by ordinary cooking. By pressure cooker, from 1 to 3 minutes for some vegetables, like broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, peas, and asparagus. From 3 to 8 minutes for vegetables like corn on the cob and onions. And from 10 to 15 minutes for other vegetables like whole carrots and large potatoes. And so on down the line for fish and seafoods, chicken, cooked cereals and baby foods, desserts and so forth. all cooked in 1/2 to 1/4 the ordinary cooking time. Most people know, of course, that pressure cookers are used for canning. It may be of interest to know that the United States Department of Agriculture recommends canning by pressure cooker as the only safe method for canning non-acid foods.
Will the pressure cooker improve my cooking and give my family better and tastier meals?
I'd like to answer that question. To me, that is the greatest value of all in the Presto cooker. Even more than the time and the work saved. I checked up with the supervisor of the home economics department of our high school and with the food editor of our local newspaper about the things Carol had told me. I mean, about how pressure cooking preserves vitamins, especially vitamin C and other nutrients that are usually wasted in ordinary open-pan cooking. And they agreed that Carol was absolutely right. Oh, and another thing I found out by first-hand experience and by asking my family and my friends, it is that pressure-cooked foods preserve and even improve food flavors and the colors of food and the texture. And that's why pressure-cooked meals are so attractive to look at when served. With my family, I don't have to worry at all about tempting their appetites, including mine.
A question often asked by women, will it save me money? Yes, it will, to a surprising degree. Not only in fuel costs, since most of the cooking is done over very low heat and in 1/2 to 1/4 the ordinary time, but also because you can use less expensive vegetables and cuts of meat at no sacrifice of taste, texture, or nutritional values. Even tough meats are pressure cooked to tender goodness in a short time, and shrinkage is practically nil. Fundamentally, there is no more to pressure cooking than we have seen. A simple procedure that is practically automatic in operation, with many cooking rewards for both the experienced cook and the new homemaker eager to please and willing to learn. But this important truth must be recognized. Pressure cooking is a new way of cooking, not just a quick method of cooking in the old way. Therefore, in order to use it to best and fullest advantage, it does take some study and practice. Those of you who look forward to owning your first pressure cooker, and those of you who already own one but allow it to remain stored away in a closet or cupboard unused, must remember this. No one can expect to become an expert at this new way of cooking in one easy lesson. No more than anyone can expect to become an expert at cake or pie baking in a single try. But pressure cooking requires no special skill or ability, for today's best pressure cookers are designed and built to provide maximum values with minimum effort. The simplest and best guiding principle is this: follow directions exactly as given in the Presto Cooker recipe book, and be willing to adapt recipes to the particular tastes of your own family. For the girl or woman who will take the time to follow directions, who will use a normal amount of common sense and a minimum of cooking imagination, a pressure cooker can become the key to new and wonderful delights in time saving, elimination of kitchen drudgery, better nutrition, economy, and new thrills and delicacy of taste.